Done it. Have you done it? Yes, you have. Welcome back to the Tier 1 podcast, Thursday night live. It's for the Patriots. This episode is brought to you by Human Performance, TRT. Go to hp-trt.com to get in the best shape of your life. With us now, tonight. That's what I try. We're gonna start the live off like that. There's no editing, John.
Do you want to start over?
No, we cannot start over. We got John Constantine. Get it right. 23 years of Secret Service?
Just short of 23.
Of Secret Service.
Secret Service. Secret Service services.
With the counter assault teams, we just did a recording. Thanks for sticking around for a live.
It's my pleasure.
On the couch tonight, we have Angie, Sonny's wife. Thanks for letting us borrow your husband tonight.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. And making it happen in a very first time appearance on the Tier 1 Live as a producer, we have Sonny from Patreon.
Doing what I can.
Drew left us, and Magnet have both left us high and dry, and the Patreon has stepped up to fill in. Guys, stick around. We got a great show. I can't wait. Sonny, let's do it. All right, let's get into it, guys. Feel free to message us in the super chat so you can talk to a Secret Service agent that covered 4 presidents. Is that correct?
Operational, yeah.
Yeah. Can you name them?
Yeah. Bush, Obama, Trump, Biden.
All right. Bush, Obama, Trump, Biden.
Yeah.
And you, man. You would have dealt with. I say dealt with. It sounds so negative, but you would have worked. That's probably a better word. You would have worked with them, their the vice presidents, as a counter assault team. You'd have been all over the world, making sure that America's leadership can go unopposed wherever they want to go, because rough Americans stand ready to do violence to dare them if they dare touch one of our presidents.
It's a good time.
Yeah. and you did your job because they didn't. And we talked about that a lot on the recording of things that have gone wrong, because the Secret Service is still manned by humans, and there will be errors. And we're not blindly sticking up for anyone. We very much have the same outlook as we'll call a spade a spade. I mean, the things they do right, we'll talk about it. The things that could be worked on and that weren't done right, we talked about that too. I really appreciate your point of view on that.
It's like loving accountability, right?
That's not a word some people love to hear these days, which makes it even more important to talk about things like integrity, accountability, character. Those words.
Yeah, sometimes we forget to hold ourselves to those. You need a reminder.
Yeah, absolutely. But we talked about, and it's true. Of course, we talked about the things where it went wrong, but the Secret Service does not get credit for every single day that a president is alive, and there's nothing newsworthy. That is because of the Secret Service, and they can do it 492 days in a row without incident, and nobody cares.
We have that counter that says how many days since last incident, right?
Right. And I don't want to rehash the recording, but it's just funny. Even when you do your job right, like the Mar-a-Lago incident, and the guy was caught, he was shot at. He didn't have a chance at getting near President Trump. and they still dragged the Secret Service through that, even though they found the guy, they ensured that nothing went wrong, and you still don't get kudos for it. That's got to be does that sentiment make it down to the team level and get frustrated, or you're just in it at the time and you don't really care what they say?
No, it gets frustrating because again, like all these kids are trying to do their job and they do them well for the most part. And I say the most part, almost every single time they're doing their job well. Like security's sloppy. Everybody thinks it's like this happens, then this happens, and this is their response, and then the situation's resolved. And just like the correspondence standard, just like all these other instances that the guy was stopped, like Butler was a bad day, but the security works because it's in layers. It's there's all the methodologies, and it's sloppy sometimes, and it's not perfect. And we look at videos, and I'm hypercritical of it too, but it is sloppy. It's not perfect. We are humans, and they're trying to do their job. And if you look at it's getting more and more, they're being more and more hyper vigilant, just like the guy in LA at the golf course that was caught a couple of weeks ago. And just like the plane change in Turkey. Right?
Yeah, we didn't talk about the one in L.A. Remind everyone about that one.
There's a guy in L.A. Trump was going to one of the golf courses out there, and they were doing their site advance, their ADVON, right? Their vulnerability assessments. And there was somebody that purported himself to be, I think he was saying that he was a State Department agent.
Okay.
And he was trying to integrate and find out like the plan, and he was caught by Secret Service, and the sheriff's department was involved, FBI was involved, and he was subsequently arrested. He had a whole bunch of stuff in his car that he wasn't supposed to. In California, everything's illegal, so and there was no shots fired. That happened way before anything became kinetic.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like Butler, the guy was on the roof and shot. This guy was caught way before, while he was doing his assessment. So if you look at 2 years ago and you fast forward to now, the hypervigilance is there.
Yeah.
And
well, that's just bad homework on his part, because no decent person would admit to working for the State Department.
Unless they're another agency and they're just using that to cover, right?
One thing I really want to talk to you about is you've been to what, 80 something different countries.
Yeah, at least once.
At least once, right? That means you've been to different countries hundreds of times. Going back and leaving the States hundreds of times, more than likely.
Sometimes it's like a day, and you go there and you just get you get a whiff, and you look around, and you eat something, and you sleep, get up, and leave.
I'm glad you just call them trips, because we've had some Green Berets consider those combat deployments. So thank you for not. Thank you for not putting that in your combat deployment counter.
That's not a thing.
I want to know, and you won't remember them all, obviously, but I feel like there's two types of countries that will stick out in your head: the good ones and the bad ones. And what I mean, just countries to visit. Did you have a favorite that you're like, that was a really good country, that was cool, the people were cool? Well, just as a country to go visit, did you have a favorite, or ones that stick out in your mind like those are good countries? America's the best, but those are good ones.
Yeah, I was about to say I was always kissing the ground when I came home. But I mean, there's a bunch of countries in Europe that I loved going to, and it's funny enough, I've been to Sicily. I've never been to Rome. I think we talked about that. And I've never been to Ireland. And it like drives me crazy to this day, because I've been to some weird countries that people don't even know exist. But I like the Eastern Bloc European countries. So like Czech Republic or Czechia. They changed the name again. Yeah. And I've been.
Did they?
It was Czechia. It was Czech Republic at one point. I'm not sure what it is now. I think it's Czech Republic when I left service. I don't know what it is now. And then like Ukraine, I've been all over there. That place was cool before the war. Obviously, right?
Yeah. I didn't visit it pre-war, but I'm familiar with it post-war.
Russia. I've been to Russia a bunch of times.
Yeah. What'd you think about Russia? That's a unique place. Like, there's a lot of countries that by the time this thing's over, whatever it is, 10,000 people will watch it, and most people, there will be someone that more than likely that has been to a random country that you're going to name. I don't know if they'd have been to Russia. That's one not a lot of Americans get to visit. What'd you think about Russia?
I got along. So it was all work trips, obviously. So
Yeah.
I got along with everybody that we worked with, like counterparts, because we were doing security.
Yeah.
And it's like one of the times that I was there for multiple weeks. And when we got there, we didn't start working for like 2 days. So we stayed at the Metropole, which is right across from the Kremlin, the old, like, very historic KGB kind of like place, right? And you'd go in there, and then every single landing, because it's like you have to remember, it's still the old Soviet bloc, KGB, FSB, whatever it's called now, that still exists. So there's like women on every floor that are trying to talk to you, and you got to get to your hotel room because they'll get up and follow you. And so we because they probably knew who we were.
Yeah. Right. Oh, they knew.
So we get a briefing from the security officer, right, and the RSO at the embassy, and he's like, all right, just report any strange contact. All right, so the next day, it was me and my partner. We go out, we're walking around. There's a dude following us, right? And we're just going to like the Stary Arbot, which is like the old square. And it's just to buy like trinkets, a whole bunch of World War II trinkets that you can go.
Oh, yeah.
So we're just sitting there, and we sit down, and we ate beer. I'm sorry, we ate pizza and drank Warsteiners beer, right? Like the German beer.
Yep.
Every day for like lunch and dinner every day. That's all we had. And the
Come
dude
back 20 pounds heavier.
The dude kept following us every day, and we were boring. We
Right.
didn't
That's
go
right.
to the bars or anything. And we also worked at night. So like during the day was when we were up. And after a while, guys with me, he's like, hey, you think he knows that we know he's there? I was like, he's not trying to be covert about this.
Right.
So I lift up the beer and I go like this, and the guy's like, he's got a cigarette in his mouth, and he's like, right, he just like blows it and he just waves back.
Right.
And then like a day or two later, there's nobody there. So we leave because we went there commercially,
Okay.
right? So we go to leave. We go back to the airport. All right, so before that even, like one night, the other group comes up to us to push us. Like, hey, were you guys followed? It's like, yeah, man, right?
Yeah.
It's like, this is their backyard.
Right. It's Russia.
He goes, well, we were followed too, but we gave them the slip, right? So my partner was like, hey, dude, like, don't screw around here. This is their backyard. He's
Right.
like, no, F those guys. We're just doing. So we go to leave, we go back, Aeroflot, right? Like that's probably like one of the worst airlines I've ever flown. And that was like the one and only time in my life that we flew. And I was like, we might not get to the end of this, right?
Yeah.
This ride. But yeah, I mean, it was fine. I just joking around. So we go in the dip line because we had diplomatic passports. We go in the dip line, and I swear this happens. The guy behind the glass, I give him my passport, and he's got a jacket on. He reaches into his pocket. He's got all the papers in front of him. Reaches into his pocket, and he pulls out a piece of paper and he looks at it, puts it back in his pocket, right? Stamps my thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, spasiba, господин, right? He's like, Mr. They don't say господин, they say Mr. Says my last name. And I'm also like an Orthodox Christian.
Okay.
So they also treated me a little different than everybody else, right? Because like I'm Orthodox and they're Orthodox. But it's like I go through and I had a whole bunch of Cuban cigars. And this was, I'm trying to remember, it was like 2000 and...
Hey, it's the perks of being on the dip line,
And I go through security. I'm like, they're going to take all this stuff now. Vodka. Like, I had all this stuff.
Yeah.
And literally, they go zip. They open the bag up and they close it. And there's like, spasiba, right? Like, and it's this way. And it was like 15 seconds for me to get through security. And my partner, too. So we go in, we sit down, we get something to eat. It was like 3 hours before our flight. Like 2.5 hours later, the other guys come through who were with us. They stopped those guys.
They pulled in the
They
secondary.
pulled them aside.
Yeah.
They searched them. They took their stuff. They had to take their clothes off through strip search.
Yep.
And it was like, what the hell you guys got through? I was like, hey, maybe you shouldn't have screwed around so much.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Don't look important. You won't. No one will think you're important.
So it's kind of a like nothing really happened story, but like
Yeah.
kind of funny story because
Right.
like we just didn't screw around with the look. We were just messing around. We were joking around with the guy.
Yeah.
So that's like my experience in Russia. There's like some other funny stories too, but the people are fine. Like
Right.
the people in the city of Moscow, and then it's working with the government that when everything becomes very difficult and we have to watch what we say and what you do and are you being recorded and you can't say certain things. Don't plug your phone into the car. Don't,
Right, yeah.
And that's when we have to report everything back. So I reported everything back to the RSO. I was like, we were being
Right.
followed. He's like, oh yeah, I know you're being followed, but I'm talking about anything weird. I was like,
Right.
like that's not weird, right?
Yeah.
So-
I mean, this is one of those things. I just assume. I mean, you're the United States Secret Service. You know, they're on a diplomatic mission. You know, you can do whatever you want.
I don't think that's true either.
I'd say, well, hold on. Gotta finish that thought for a second. When it comes to you having the leeway to protect the principal, but is that not true? Can they very much inhibit your ability to protect?
In a foreign country,
Yes.
sometimes the bureaucracy, it makes it very difficult, and it's usually in the planning stages,
Okay.
right? So like the close security and stuff, it's going to be what it is. It's not going to change. But the planning phase, sometimes there's a lot of negotiation that goes into play.
Right.
And the best agents are the ones that have diplomacy. They're the ones that are able to be diplomatic and negotiate instead of being like, I'm an American, I'm a Secret Service. Don't you know that we need to do this?
Right.
And of course, we're
Right.
not on our soil anymore.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, oh, is this how it's going to be?
Yeah. You know, it's about
And you're
playing
just-
unfair for a second, which is, of course, it is. I mean, your sole purpose is to protect them. But for you to do your job, you have to be where you want to be, when you want to be there. And they can really skew your ability to do your job. And if they want to do something nefarious, of course, one of the first people, the very frontline people at the end of the day are fairly easy to overwhelm. You know there's a counter assault coming, and you want to keep them at bay or away or as far as possible. So you're someone they're going to have to deal with, and they can do that to some degree, fairly easy just by being a nuisance to you,
Yeah.
and not letting you do your job.
There's been countries that we've been in that I think sometimes in some of these countries, the different entities have different agendas. So sometimes it's to disrupt just the image of what's going on. It might not be something that they're trying to like hurt somebody or kill somebody, but they just want things to not look smooth because it kind of defames the United States.
Right. I know
And then all the way up to having like dangerous situations. So
Right.
there's everything in between, and they like the president of another country doesn't want anything to happen to our president if he's meeting with him on his soil.
right.
Okay. But maybe that sentiment's not the same for people that are 4, 5, 6, 7 steps below them. Maybe some military people, police people, right?
Yeah.
The people that we work with.
People forget how petty might be one word, but petty or
It's human nature.
political, or it's a game of chess. But you're right. They don't want anything to really happen to them on their soil because that'd get mud on their face. But if they could embarrass him by something that's completely detached from them, or you're right, make America look bad, they'd love for that to happen.
Yeah, like other countries will try to do stuff where their president's standing in a spot and our president has to walk like 20 yards to meet him. So it looks like their president is in charge of everything.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's not the Secret Service's job, but it is because it's a security thing. I don't want the guy to walk 20 yards, so I make it into a security thing.
Okay.
So, but if it's something that's like everything is secure, that just becomes a staff thing. That's not our thing. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
security wise, like that's not our problem. But then the staff will step in and be like, well, it looks bad for us. Can we drop him off here instead? And then we'll.
Is working with friendly nations, make it up, Canada, Australia, the Five Eyes, if you will, like your standard allies. Is it easy working with those guys because we're seen as allies and brothers, or is it still?
Yeah, it's easier.
It's easier.
Yeah.
What outside of maybe Russia, because we just talked about them, it didn't seem like they inhibited you as much. They may have been a little bit of a nuisance to you.
Russia's more counterintelligence stuff.
Yeah.
That's where like a president hasn't been there in a long time.
Yeah.
I was lucky because I started early in my career, and then we just never went back, right? And then I went to Ukraine a bunch, which is also a bunch of stories like that too.
Right.
And so those are difficult for counterintelligence, not just the physical security, but there's so much counterintelligence stuff
Right.
that goes on there. So, like, don't bring your personal phone to those places.
Right. Yep.
Right. Like, don't plug your work phone. Even we were in a country once, and my guy plugged in his phone, and we had a rental car, and I'm like, oh, all right, like, just don't ever do that again.
Yep.
We got back stateside. It was his work phone, and it was populating in Chinese.
Oh.
All right. And Mandarin. And it was like, you got to give that in. We got to get that thing wiped. You're done. You got to get a new phone now.
You have to assume everything you plugged your phone in is bugged. Every car you're in is bugged. Every hotel room you stay in is bugged. You just have to assume that.
I found a bug in Cairo. It was in my hotel room.
And it's Cairo. Not even necessarily.
It wasn't like, if I could find it, they didn't do a good job.
Right.
But it was an accident, to be honest with you. But I found it.
Yeah.
It was like inside the television set. And that was like one of the first times that when I talked to anybody afterwards, I would go in the bathroom and I would turn on the faucets and I would bring the phone down. And it sounded like, he's like, where the hell are you? And I was like, I'm in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Right. And
people don't understand. It's just that it is even with certain friendly nations. And I could name names and embarrass some people, but I won't. But I assure you, these nations would surprise you. But once you get into that world, you just realize that is the cat and mouse game that nations play on the intel side. Everyone does it to everyone. Our enemies, our allies, the good guys, the bad guys, everyone's collecting at some level. It's just happening.
I worked on a bunch of projects that were in a highly classified situation. And I received a bunch of briefings in the beginning one time, and not to get into the programs. And I was like, oh my God, like, I'm getting these briefings about capabilities. What about our stuff back to them?
Right.
And the guy looked at me and he goes, oh no, this is way worse. Right. It's like, don't worry about it. Like whatever they have, we have, like, it's way worse. And I was like, oh, thank God. Right.
Right.
So it's like, you're right. It's like whatever it is, it's like
that is the game.
That's the game.
That is the game. All right, let's stop. Oh, I do want to say we talk about the good places to operate and places you would imagine. Outside of Russia, was there ever a place you came back from? You're like, you know what? I'd just rather not do my job over there, just because they made it difficult, whether it be physically, politically, for you to do your job. You just did not like working there.
The highly bureaucratic countries, right? I feel like you'd go down to South Africa. There's a lot of bureaucracy. It's hard because the guy who you're dealing with, like, either can't make a decision or won't because he's got to run it up the flagpole, and it's got to go up like 7 steps.
I get that. And that makes sense.
And it's so bureaucratic. They got to document everything. I think India was like that. And it's like, you make it just miserable because a decision can be made right now.
Right. Doesn't have to be like
this. And then you just brief your boss, and your boss will tell you, if it doesn't work, you come back to me and we'll figure out a new solution. But it was always like, to make a simple decision would take like 4 days.
Yeah. And
it's just like, you're pulling your hair out and you're like, come on, bro, just make a decision for me. Don't run it up the flagpole.
Yeah.
So
I can see that. Sonny, if you don't mind, and your best Drew impersonation, you want to do super chats tonight?
Yeah, Brent.
You got it's uncanny. It's like Drew is in the room with us. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad you feel the presence.
All right. I'm Send it. See what you
All
got.
right. Darren BB.
That's old Darren Bahila. That's Bo.
Oh, Bo.
Episode number 1 right there.
Yep. One of the best. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. John 3:16. Accepting Jesus as your Savior is life-changing. Now, who is ready to step off in New York City for the 9/11 event with Brent Tucker and Bo?
There you go. I love that. That is a solid first super chat, and it's a good first step into. I hyped this up. I hyped you guys up, and I was like, hey John, like this is the chats are going to be good. We got good people that watch the show, and it comes through in our audience, and for that to be the very first super chat, I love it. Thank you, Bo. Of course, the second one's going to be a little different, but that's okay. We started off on the right foot.
You just give me the sandwich, right? The good, and then you got the weird one, and then on the other side, right?
Yeah. And of course, if you guys don't know, you should, if you watch the show, he's talking about the 50 for the Fallen event for the 25th memorial of 9/11 in New York City that we will be there for. If you guys want to meet up or want more details, please join our Patreon, and we will be talking about it there. What else we got?
All right. Solely 1234 AWD2. If you saw Monica go down on Clinton, would you have snitched? Should agents keep secret scandals if they go against public interest?
All right, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I just saw Monica there for a second.
I was thinking the same.
But the question is a good question because it's tough. As I think about it, like there's the work obligation you kind of have, but then is it a good thing? Like, are you obligated to tell morally of what a president does behind closed doors? I don't know. That is, I'm sure you guys have. You guys talk about that, or what's
So you don't
what's
hear
right, what's wrong?
You don't hear a lot of. I say a lot. I think that there were agents that testified with that. That was before me, so it's the inside chatter I don't have on that. But this is what I'll say about talking about presidents and what they do behind closed doors. And unless it's like some national security thing, unless it's something to that effect where it's going to impact the United States, to start talking about their idiosyncrasies or their personal whatever it is, I think is bad form, unprofessional, and it causes them to not have any trust in us.
Yeah.
If it's something that's outside, is my rule for me, like the stories that I'll tell. If it's something that anybody can witness me having an interaction or me witness, like me an interaction with the president, vice president, whoever it is, that's like fair game. I can talk about it unless it's some classified information, which we wouldn't be talking about anyway. So the behind closed doors thing is a slippery slope. I wouldn't talk about things like that. I'm not saying I condone them or like it'll make me like the guy
Right.
or anything like that. But that becomes the professionalism of you being a Secret Service agent. It's almost like you witness things and it's like you didn't see them. You're just there to make sure the guy's alive.
I'm thinking about it like in different ways.
Illegal, unethical, immoral. Where does that line in? And is this the immoral part go into national security?
So let me phrase it in a different way. That's clearly leading, but but it shows. We already talked about it. I love logical. I love consistency.
Yeah, that's
right.
how I am. Yeah,
and it's this. If anyone were to say, "Hey, should law enforcement be able to go? Let's say a spouse is cheating on a spouse. Would law enforcement go kick in that door and be like, "Hey, are you cheating on your husband or wife right now? This is the SWAT team." But everyone would be like, no, that is, I mean, it's not right, but that's some government overreach right there. Mm-hmm. Well, it's a little bit tongue in cheek, or a little bit devil's advocate, but what's the difference? Do we now want our law enforcement agencies being moral police as well? Whether
we're not their parents, we're not their mom and dad.
Yeah. It is interesting, but it is the president of the United States. And if he is in a what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of what we were talking about. If you have bad credit, a compromising position. Mm-hmm. If you're in a compromising position financially, you can't work for the Secret Service. You also can't let the president of the United States put himself in a compromising position? I don't. It's a good argument. I'm sure it's a good, could be a good back and forth argument about what's right and what's wrong. And I think at the end of the day, I think it is a little bit more subjective than black and white.
I think it's subjective, and I believe most of those, I say most, a lot of those situations come to light anyway. Right.
Right. It's not like he got away with it.
If you go back,
Yeah.
if you go back to JFK and Marilyn Monroe and like, you know,
Yeah,
like going forward.
Right.
So these situations, and if they put themselves in those situations, it's going to come out eventually.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That is a good point.
For the most part, I'm not saying it's 100%, but it's,
Yeah. All right. What else we got, Sonny?
All right. Solely 1234 AWD2 back in. If Secret Service ensure agents have war experience by sending them into war or recruiting people who have experienced war, would this make them better?
What do you think about that? Having a combat veteran background, at least into the hiring process. You think that's beneficial, or you guys just teach them everything they need to know, so it's not necessarily. What do you think? And is there a lot of and are there
there's
of
there's a
veterans?
ton of vets.
Yeah.
There's a ton of vets in the Secret Service already. There's like two different ways I want to answer this. So the first part is yes, like the operational stuff and the tactics and there's a part of that where people who are vets would bring that experience in, and they'd be able. We had here. I'll talk about the best of the best. Ron Scher, right? Medal of Honor winner Ron Scher passed away. You know, God rest his soul. He was a Green Beret. He came to the Secret Service and he became a counter assault team guy. In training, when we would do things, he would always wear his helmet. And I was an instructor at one point. He would always wear his helmet. I knew why. And some of the other guys didn't, because we weren't doing anything that was real kinetic.
Right.
And he was sweating through everything. And they turn around and they said, well, like, why are you always wearing your helmet, dude? He goes, you get shot in the head. Right. And then you'll wear your helmet every single day. And then everybody walked back to their cars, put their helmet on. And we were just doing like cuffing or something like that. Right. And he took it real and serious every single moment. That's what made him the Medal of Honor winner.
Yeah.
Right. And bringing that over, because it rubs off on everybody else, is a great idea. Now, I will also say some of the best guys I've ever worked with were never combat veterans, and they took the job for real. And then there are guys that are terrible at their job that were veterans.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not an absolute thing for the CAT and the special operations, the pipeline, maybe, but you do have to learn how to be an agent. You do have to, like, there's all these other things that you have to learn. And that's just like an example of, like, I think it's a good idea to have more veterans, more combat experience. And within, like, then you have to teach them to be agents. And then there's still personality. There's still personality things that you have to run through always.
Do you dislike it when people say cat team? Because you're saying counter assault team?
No, because that's cat meow team. And that's fine.
Okay. Because ATM machine irritates me, and it just wondering if it was similar.
It's been like decades, so I heard of the cat teams, right?
Okay. All right. What else we got?
Solely 1234 AWD2 back in again. How does CAT compare to Delta? If not on Delta standard, should it be made to be?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And this is what I'll say. Like, so counter assault guys, if you're listening, you're not special forces. All right. Counter assault team is not a special forces unit. It is something, it's not a SWAT team. It is something completely different. There's aspects of both that you take, because it's still technically law enforcement. And however, it's law enforcement doing a military function.
Yeah.
Right? They're assaulters. So we're bound, the ROE that we have is different. And the standards that we have are very high. So in Delta Force has such high standards, and their scope of practice of what they're able to do is bigger. It's greater. They do a bunch of other stuff too. CACA is just in this protection world, and you're serving a military function in a civilian environment, and there's all these other things that go into place. So the standards overlap. Like I told you, most of the things that I learned and how I ran my team are taken from your unit, right?
Right.
And however, having said that, I have to retro engineer a lot of that stuff and plug it into how counter assault team plugs into the service. So, and I'll say it like all the time. And I said it the other day, and I stole it from somebody. I didn't come up with it. It's like, they're like, wait, what is the CAT team? It's like the CAT team is what the service needs us to be at the time that they're using us.
Yeah.
Right. So it's this like adaptive, resilient model that it's just this whole hybrid thing. That's why we talked about it of the rule breakers, because you got to know what you can get away with, and then you got to break the rules when it's necessary. So that's a CAT guy. So comparing the two, I hope that answers that.
Yeah. Do you feel like, of course, there's always different buckets of money, but just when it comes to gear and training, do you feel like you guys are well funded?
I think right now they have the best gear that they've ever had in the history
Love
of
to
the
hear
counter assault team program. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I miss my night vision, and then they tell me the new stuff that they had, and I'm like, oh man, like,
Of course, you'd get that after I left.
So yeah, right.
Yeah.
So,
All right. What else we got?
All right. Solely 1, 2, 3, 4 AWD2 back in again. Thank you so much for the love, as Drew would say. If a tier 1 unit targeted president, would Secret Service be likely to stop them?
Oh, that's such a good question.
I'm gonna say this. It depends where. Here's the difference.
Sure. Yeah,
Right.
I'm going over a bunch of different scenarios in my mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I prefer also not to like answer it directly, so I'm gonna dance around it.
Okay.
So for everybody, right, I'm gonna dance around it. The Secret Service is reactive agency. Okay. The military tier 1 units is a proactive. They get to decide the time and place. Right. So the Secret Service is reactive. Have to be on all the time.
Yeah.
So which tier 1 unit are you talking about? And then I'll also say it depends where.
Right.
Depends
Definitely not
where it
SEAL
is.
Team 6.
So
Is that what you're about? Is that what you're about to say?
Oh no, I'm not, I didn't say.
Kind of
anything.
felt it. Kind
I
of
didn't
felt
say
like you were
anything.
going that way.
Yeah, definitely not them. Definitely not them.
Maybe the tier 0 units will get us, but not the tier 1 units.
But no, you bring up a good point.
That's how I answer that.
You have to, and this doesn't have to do with tier 1. Just has to do with the job in general. And this is what you're saying, but to say it a different way, you have to be on all the time. You have to stop us 100%.
Correct.
You know, we only have to find one chink in the armor
right.
to be successful, and just the odds are just against you. They're just against you, and that, which goes back to the beginning of it, is why I hate it when people, not when it's deserved, it's deserved, but when they'll say something about the Secret Service that just isn't necessarily true, because every day the Secret Service does their job, it's a win.
Even when they do their job in an operation, we talked about it, the plane change thing. Nobody knew about that.
Yeah.
Right. They did their job. They put him on another plane. He was gone. And then a month later, however long the time period was, somebody found out, ran to the media, and now they're all mad about it. So the service did a great job, and they're still mad.
Right.
Right.
Well, that was the media thinking that they were just as important as the president, and thinking they should have been notified, whatever. There's different kind of sides of the story that people are upset about on that, and that's crazy to me.
My retort to that, because I shut it all down, is: are you in the line of succession?
Right.
If you're in the line of succession, yeah, you have a right to be upset. If you're not, just remember our job is not you.
Right.
Right.
Just by you guys deplaning and then changing everything, that means they were notified that a heads up happened and that they did something wrong. And then they would adjust to that. The bad guy was whoever they were.
Whatever I don't know what the intel was, but they talk about it in the media. There's
so
shoulder
just
fire
by
stuff.
releasing that and saying that we knew about it, and if they would have did something different, it would have tipped our hand that we knew about it, and they could have pieced the puzzle together. So by acting like nothing happened was absolutely the right call.
Service played it so well.
And leaking it is absolutely the wrong call. It was so selfish of them to do that. So selfish. All right. What else we got?
All right. T Chambers 807. What is an old story from the Secret Service that you've heard about and isn't widely known? If you had to pick a president before your time to do PPD for, who is it and why? I'm guessing PPD is personal
Protection detail.
It's
Yeah, man.
presidential protective detail.
Yeah. What is there one of those stories that are around, like an old lore of something that happened before your time? Anything like that?
I don't know if you're looking for juicy stuff or you're looking for like endearing stuff, but we just talked about it before. Like it's a president, but his wife and his Ronald Reagan's wife, and also Bush. Both Bush's wives would just come out and give the agents hot chocolate when it was freezing outside. And people think that that's like a myth that they did that, but they actually did that. And they would kind of yell at us too, be like, "You're in the cold, aren't you cold?" And like I was in the cat truck, I remember one time, and my team leader was like, "Well, we didn't get hot chocolate because we're like in the cat truck." Like, I'm like, "We're in a truck. There's heat."
We got the heat.
Right? Like,
Right.
they're standing outside,
Right.
right? Like,
Doesn't mean I don't want hot
yeah, I
chocolate.
was like, I don't want right? So like that's like just right away, just
Yeah.
to tell a story, just to break the ice in the beginning. And
But I do love that because it shows that the first ladies are people too, and
I think
they get to
all the first ladies
they
appreciate us.
get to do so much. Yeah, they're impactful as well. But to see that some of them still, if you want to call it this, haven't forgotten the little people. They haven't let that position get to their head. And you're like, hey, I still appreciate the ones who protect me and have my back and allow my husband and me and everyone else here to come in and continue doing our job and help navigate this country. We couldn't do it without you guys. I mean, it's just a cup of hot chocolate, but that's what it represents.
Yeah. And there's others that it was just a professional relationship. They just, I don't want to say like, that's not the word tolerated us, but it was just like kind of, we were there and there was just very little interaction.
Yeah.
So.
And there's really nothing wrong with a professional relationship
No.
either.
In fact, in some ways, it just had that thing happen in New Hampshire with the senator, and she was having an inappropriate relationship with her bodyguard, is what the word that they used. And that's what happens when you get too close to the person you protect. Not saying that's what happens, but that's like a great example of what could happen. And then it's all like the personal. If you become my friend, I might not do this security job as well as I should because there's like this more intimate relationship that we have, like a friendly relationship. So at some point, it can't be too close. It can't be too far either. You have to have diplomacy. So there's this like middle zone that you have to have when you're interacting with these people. You can't be their best friend, and you can't be so distant from them.
Are you sure you're not talking about the movie The Bodyguard with Whitney Houston? Are you getting that confused a little bit?
That's exactly what that situation was.
Whitney
in New
Houston
Hampshire,
and
right?
what's his name? How do
Kevin
forget?
Costner.
And Kevin Costner. It's not that.
It's a great movie of how not to do things.
Do they show that at the at training?
They never showed that or even talked about
Or
it.
even not even a reference? Not even
no.
a good joke?
No.
Oh, I feel like it's a missed
There
opportunity.
might be there might be a poster of
Might
it.
be a poster?
Because they
Okay.
have all the
Yeah.
Secret Service movies.
Okay. All right. What else we got?
All right, we got Jonathan Tubbs. When is Tier 1 live karaoke night?
We
Luca
should do one.
Bros and Mag, what is your go-to song?
Oh, well, it's just me here tonight because Magnet, his girlfriend's birthday, his fiance's birthday is this weekend, and they took off to Daytona Beach and took off a little bit too soon. I feel like he gave up on us, but guys, don't give him too hard of a time.
It
I
happens.
will for you. And Drew took off to South Carolina. But my go-to karaoke song, Cumbersome 7 Mary 3, all day long. It's my go-to. You do any karaoke?
I have a hilarious story in Russia of me doing karaoke.
Yes. That's what's awesome about traveling. I mean, karaoke is kind of popular everywhere, but it's always funny to watch karaoke in a foreign country, especially when they're singing a lot of American songs and they can't speak any English, but some of these guys can go up there and just nail an English karaoke song and then walk down and then not know a word of English. It's crazy.
my first planning and logistics trip that I did on the counter assault team was down in Houston, and I had an advisor with me, and we went to like some sports bar place to have dinner one night and had karaoke, and I was like, I'll give you $50 if you sing "Girls Just Want to Have Fun," and Cyndi Lauper, and he's like, done. He goes up there and he's like, easiest $50 I'll ever make. I was like, cool. I recorded you, so like it's gonna cost you $50 for me to delete this.
For sure.
So
Nothing like our Secret Service agents up there in foreign countries. We're like, yep, this is us. Karaoke. Girls just want to have fun.
oh, that was in Houston. So yeah, that was in Houston. But
Oh, that was in Houston.
that was
Okay.
that one was Houston. Yeah.
Wouldn't do that overseas, would you?
What did I do? I did like
Tell
a
me you
journey.
would.
I did a Journey song overseas. So
Nice.
I don't think anybody knew what I was saying, but
That's all right. All right. What? We'll hang off on the super chats for just a little bit. We'll take it in the halftime because we're of course it's going to be a little bit presidential focused. Want to talk to you a little bit more about the presidents. You span 4 different presidents, and out of respect for a couple things, the political divide in this country. It's a little bit. There's the dichotomy of it, right? There should be some political divide because we should push back about some things that are going on and just not roll over and accept things to say, hey, we're just one team, one fight. That is a good thing. I mean, that is freedom of speech. That's been America since George Washington was president, since the very beginning of opposing views, and that's nothing wrong. But when it comes to the president, people can absolutely have their opinions. They should have their opinions. But at the end of the day, I also want to respect the position, and I think we've lost respect for the position of the president of the United States.
I agree with that.
So with that in mind, I want to hear good things about the president. Starting with old George W. Bush. What were things that you liked about him?
I remember we'd go up to Camp David with him a lot. He went up to Camp David a lot.
Okay.
Right. And he used to run, but then he started.
He may have been our fittest president in my lifetime.
Out of the last, yeah, definitely. Since I was there, he was the fittest president for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd run 3 miles in like 21 minutes or something like that. And for like
impressive.
an older guy,
Yeah.
right? So, and consistently every day, not just like, and it was like, all right, done. He'd go clean up and go to work. And he was up. I remember he was up early in the morning. Like we'd go to the White House, and like my team leader would just be like, hey, just everybody hold, we're about to move. And it would be like 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And he would go over to the West Wing and start working like early in the morning. He finished early,
Right.
but he started way, way early. It was still dark outside usually. And I like that. I'm a morning person. So I remember all the time, as soon as we got there, I'd sit there and I'm holding my stuff now. And I'm like, no, we're going to move over in a minute. Right. So he was like a workhorse like that. And he just like every day, it was like religiously every day, same time, every day. And he would always stop and like talk to us and make fun of us and like in a good way.
Right.
They all did. They all did. They all stopped to make fun of us, especially the cat team.
Okay.
And he just walked by. He's like, my killers, right? And like, sir, right? And he just keep going. He just make those comments. So he appreciated us. He always interacted like that. He'd stop and talk to the team leaders and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what I remember about him, right? So
Seemed like an authentic person.
Yeah, he
Just a
was.
genuine type of guy.
he drove his truck on his ranch where they can't drive. They don't drive anywhere. We drive them everywhere.
Right. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he loved it, right? Because
Yeah.
he's like, I want to drive, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That was funny. Even Biden. Like Biden did a funny commercial. Remember you ever see the commercial with him in the Corvette?
Oh yeah.
And he gets in the Corvette and he starts it up and he gets all the way to like the gate of the White House and like, sir, we can't let you drive. He's like, yeah, I know. And so he drove like 30 feet in it and then had to get out of his Corvette. I thought it was a great commercial.
That was funny. I wasn't there. Like, I don't know when that was filmed.
Yeah.
So when I saw it, I was like, when the heck did we do this? Like, who authorized this? Right.
Yeah.
And I remember he was I remember he was always, like Biden I'm talking about now.
Okay.
Right. He would always ask like these little opinions about, is like, what do you think? Right. And you as a Secret Service agent, not in like you're not putting you on the spot.
Right.
But it could be something as dumb as like his tie. He's like, what do you think? Right. And
okay.
And he'll just look over, and you as a Secret Service agent have to be like dumb about it and just be like, oh, I don't know, sir. Just, or like some people will like indulge it. I wasn't that close to him, like being on CAT.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Or any of them being on the counter assault team.
Yeah.
Only when I did any shift work. And every time somebody would come off the stage or do something and turn and say something to me, my rule was, I'm just going to play dumb. Because I don't want to get into this conversation with them where they say like, well, the Secret Service guy even said,
right. Don't pull me into this.
So any interaction I had, I'd always play like dumb, like they're all smarter than me. I'm an idiot. And I was like, oh, sir, I never thought about it. It's like, good to see you, sir. Yeah, sir. Thank you. Right.
I'm not walking back what I said, but again, I'm not going to, we can't pretend like certain things didn't happen. I do. If we look at it, out of what I'm going to say is actually out of respect for the presidency. It's unfortunate. Biden's mental decline, which is just true, that happened at the end of his term. It's not good for anyone. But when he was vice president for Obama, no one really had any like real problems with Joe Biden. Sure, he was kind of crazy Uncle Joe. I say that tongue in cheek, just as almost affectionately. But back then, he did seem to be a very personable guy. Like, if anyone was ever like,
100%.
Hey, would you like to go meet Vice President Joe Biden, have a beer with him? Absolutely. He seems like he'd be a fun time. Let's go.
I was wearing a suit, and he talked to me for like a couple of minutes one time. So I was doing shift work, and he literally had a conversation with me, and he was asking me like where I was from, and found out that I was from like New Jersey and stuff.
Okay.
And he has relatives up in Philadelphia and everything. And he's having this conversation with me almost as if like he was just looking to chat with somebody. And it was just all about like asking me questions about me. So they are able to have these conversations and just like where it's endearing. It
really kind of puts him down to a personal level.
It does.
Which you kind of want. Like
I'd rather that than just them being angry and like yelling at us or something. So.
Yeah. Let's talk about, we got a little bit of time left. We'll make it. What about Obama?
He always had the girls with him, right? Like his family was always with him.
Okay.
Like unless it was some weird foreign trip, right? Like they traveled with him a lot. So him being a dad and being near them.
Busted. That is a good quality.
That was like one thing. Some people will say it's like, oh, like it was just for show. Like, no, you're not bringing your daughters with you to some of these places for show. Like they would come and have experiences as young girls. Mm-hmm. So they got to see a lot of countries as young girls. And that was early on because I was on CAT, and in 2008 was the election, right? I was on CAT 2007, 2008. So Bush was ended and Obama began. So I was there during the entirety of the 8 years of Obama. So I got to see him with his family a lot. Like they were together a lot. I mean, the Hawaii trips, they were together for sure because they were in Hawaii. But there was sometimes like we'd go overseas. I'm trying to remember like which countries specifically, but I can't point out which countries. Obviously, like the Frances, those are easy to say. Like he would bring the family often, like not every time.
Yeah.
But if it was a nice place, like the family was there and they got to experience the country, right? So that to me, being a young agent, I was like, wow, I want my kid to experience all these countries too.
Oh, wouldn't that be cool?
Right? I didn't have a kid then.
This question is only meant to be positive. It's not against someone else. So please understand that. But at the end of the day, to you, just personally, to you, someone's the coolest. Of the 4 presidents you work with, you have to go out after the show and have a beer with them. Who you picking?
The beer.
Yes.
You're saying beer.
It's a beer. Or he's going to show up in the garage with us post show, cigars, a few beers, telling stories, just kicking back one of the boys. Who you inviting?
Yeah, Trump doesn't drink beer. So like he doesn't.
Oh, you can take the beer out of it. Yeah, that was a little bit, but yeah, just to hang out with. He'll.
I think like George Bush Jr. It would be easy to have like conversations that have nothing to do about politics.
Right. Yeah. Just hanging out with him.
Right. And then like Trump would have the conversations with him are going to be unpredictable.
You don't say.
So,
which is, but if we're just talking about, we want to do it because it's going to be fun. The unpredictability of Trump is what would make it fun.
So I would say, and when we were in the White House, it'd be a midnight, and I always I would go up and I would do briefings with the shift, and I would always tell the shift leader, like, if you want to tell him if he can't sleep, if he wants to come down and sit with the cat guys and listen to the stupid things that we say to each other, we'll solve all the world's problems. Bring him on down.
That's right. That's right.
I was like dying for like one night for somebody to just like, I mean, they'd never do it. Nobody ever tell a president to do that.
Right.
But that was my constant ask. I was like, hey, we're still here. Like, bring him on down. Like, we'll have a conversation with him. So it wasn't for a lack of trying. It started with Obama. Like I would say Obama all the way through. So
that reminds me that the 3 teams that we had the most interaction with would be the emergency response team, the counter assault team, and the counter snipers. So we'll talk about those 3 teams specifically. Is there any? And I mean, like usually it's in good, hard, and fun. Sometimes it can go too far. Is there any rivalry between those 3 units?
It's not a rivalry. We make fun of each other and joke around.
Okay.
But we get along great.
Right.
Like one of my best friends was an ERT guy, emergency response team, the counter sniper team, and it's all different functions too.
Right.
So everybody supports each other, and I mean sometimes you argue about stuff just like any brothers would do.
Right.
But the rivalry I think is healthy if there one exists.
Absolutely. Right.
And it's like the ERT guys and the CAT guys, emergency response team and the CAT guys, they'll have like try to outshoot each other.
Yep.
Right. They'll try to out PT each other. And if there is a rivalry,
and then both you guys just both gang up on the snipers.
And then but those guys could shoot eyes out of a snake. Yeah. Like those guys they're like exceptionally good. Like they used to go to shooting competitions and win, right, with like other military units, the counter sniper team. So there is a lot of skill there during all the units. And of course there's like drama at some point, but like where isn't there?
Right.
But again, it's that special operations that's housed. Everybody kind of the accountability of it, like, hey, we're going to shoot. I didn't shoot good today. And they shot great. It's like, I got work to do, man. And they're like, we beat you, right?
Right.
And it's awesome. And that's like the healthy competition.
I'll be back.
When it's like, of course there's drama, but that's more like specific personality driven stuff. It's not like a culture of the units.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, it is about that time. It is 9:00 on the dot. Even though Sonny started late, we're gonna still stay on time. Sonny, did you start at 8:00?
Yeah, so I didn't start at 8:00.
See, it's not that easy.
I don't have a watch, so you're good.
We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that.
Okay, fair enough. Guys, don't go anywhere. It'll just be a few minute break. Here's a word from our sponsors. They keep the lights on. We'll be right back.
We are more than makers of steel. We are brothers in craft, bound by purpose and forged in pride. Every blade we shape carries the weight of the hands that built it and the hearts that will wield it. Brotherhood Blades stands for those who refuse to quit. The protectors, the workers, the doers. We forge with integrity, we carry with pride, and we stand shoulder to shoulder with those who live by the same code. Brotherhood Blades, forged in freedom, carried with honor.
If you've ever been to any of my tactical training classes, then you know how adamant I am about the use of white light and the importance of a quality, high-powered, tactical light. That's why I use cloud defensive tac lights. You can't hit what you can't see, and neither can the bad guys. Clearly identify your target and simultaneously overwhelm his vision with hundreds and even thousands of lumens. Get serious about defending yourself and your family. Go to clouddefensive.com and use promo code Tier1 to get 30% off your order. That's right, 30%. You won't find a better light than this, and you won't find a better deal than this.
Revenge is an act of passion. Vengeance is an act of justice. Injuries are revenged. Crimes are avenged. Almost a century ago, big pharmaceutical companies re-engineered medical school curriculum and faculty with one goal: putting profit before progress. Anyone pushing back against the medical matrix they carefully crafted was threatened, silenced, censored, financially ruined, or worse. They are the problem. We are the solution.
You're clear to engage. Initials Mike Juliet Alpha. You're clear to engage with weapons. You're clear to engage with weapons. Gotcha. Talk about here for where easy is.
Here you are.
Can they hear me?
They can't hear you.
Let's see.
If you want to spit some...
You say they can't or they can't?
No, they can. They can. If you want to spit some rhymes or...
Nobody's here. It's just me.
Yep, just you, me. Oh, no, here he is. Quit talking about him.
My internal clock's a little off. Sorry about that, boys. And this is also usually where Drew plugs FRCC. I guess so. Did you get it?
No, I'll do it.
Oh, I'll do it for Drew. Hey guys, besides our sponsors, thanks for sticking around. Don't forget to go to frcc.shop. Use promo code Tier1 to get 15% off. We still got it all: coffee, cigars, bourbon. We even have these little cool I almost said flashbang. Grenade lighters. We got a bunch of cool new stuff. In fact, throw me that. Nice. We even have flashbang lighters. Great throw. Better catch, but no big deal. Everyone saw it. They knew. I didn't have to say that. All right. And now back to our regularly scheduled program. We'll do one or two super chats just to keep it moving, and then we'll get right back to picking John's brain. What's left of it?
It's a mess in there. So.
All right. Bacon Forged. Good evening, Tier 1 fam. Hope everybody is having a great Thursday. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and check out the Patreon. And of course, Thursday nights are for the Patriots. He's not wrong about that.
He's not wrong. Thank you, Bacon Forge. Good to see you in the chats, brother.
It's a great name.
Oh, there's some good names in here. Yeah.
Brent, one thing real quick.
Yeah.
Guys, if y'all are not on the Patreon, y'all need to jump on there. It's cool. It's fun. It is. There's a lot going on there. A lot of chats. There's also a Cobalt Kinetics gun expert in there.
You got it.
I'm doing Drew's part right now.
You are. I know. Sonny knows because he's on Patreon.
I would say I have his hair, but
he cut it. I know.
He had to have cut it. You know.
I'm telling you, I'm grateful for the Patreon community, man. It is you guys are the best. The videos, the chats, the constant razzing, but it's like a digital team room is kind of what it is. And I absolutely love it.
It's your chance to get on there and poke fun at Brent.
Not every day do you get a chance to poke at a 6 foot tall man.
6 foot,
you know?
huh? We'll see. All right, just another 11 Bravo in for the Patriots.
Good to see you.
Thanks for the love.
There you go. Thank you, Just Another 11 Bravo, who supplied us with the free Glock 19 that we're giving away on Patreon. If I say that fast enough and quick enough and maybe a little bit low, YouTube won't take us off air over it. Just gotta say it real low.
You just gotta whisper it.
Yeah. YouTube's run by communists.
All right.
Can argue.
Just Another 11 Bravo back in. Had great interactions with USSS in both Iraq and Afghanistan a few times. Thanks for being here.
Yeah. Speaking of places you've been, combat zones. Which one have you been to?
Both.
Both? Did you like one more than another? That's a weird question, but they're they are very different as far as logistically, area wise, enemy. Everything about them is similar but different. And I don't know if you felt it that way, and your job, the way you were, the way it presents itself to you.
Yeah, and I think in Afghanistan there was less like the wow factor of being there.
Yeah.
And like as you understand the war zones, a lot of them. Well, one I was there for a week, so it's not a long that like we'd go there because we'd be with the president. So I'd fly on Air Force One,
Right.
which Cat never does. They just like they'll do it for special trips.
Okay.
So on special assignments, and I've done a bunch of them, right? So like a whole bunch. We'll go on Air Force One with them. We'll land. We'll link up with our counterparts.
Yeah.
We've sent somebody there. Done all the stuff. Afghanistan was like not as cool to see stuff. You're like, there's nothing here so
It's
much.
a little desolate.
And then I spent a week in Iraq, and I was in Baghdad, so I was at Camp Victory, and I was hanging out there. And while we were there, the NFL coaches were there.
Oh, really?
So I met like John Gruden and Bill Cowher, and I think Jeff Fisher was there, and who was the Tom Coughlin,
Okay.
one of the Harbaughs. So I met them all.
That's cool.
Right, and like we motorcaded down Red Irish, which was like a terrible idea.
Yeah.
And then we were in the green zone. I went up to Erbil, that long
Erbil's-
runway that's there.
Yep.
So there was
Erbil's actually nice, and it has been for
it
a
is
while.
nice. It was nice then. I can only imagine what it's like now.
Yep.
Like oil money up there.
And it's the Kurds. The Kurds are just better people. They are. I
Yeah.
don't-
And so there was way more, I guess, palaces, Saddam's palaces. I got to walk through some of them. And there was way more to see in Iraq.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I can see that. It may be a different experience with you. Like, well, we're not the president. It's not like we have our own suite and office there. But flying in Air Force One has to be kind of cool.
yeah, I took a bunch of selfies on one trip and I got yelled at. But they feed you well.
Yeah.
We're spoiled, like Cat being on Air Force One. It was like a necessity. Usually we're on car planes, right? So
Right,
we'll fly
yeah.
on C-17, C-5s
Yep.
every once in a while. Like in the beginning, I flew on a couple of C-130s. But flying on Air Force One is like, people will give you the stink eye and be like, who are these guys? And we're
Right.
just like waving, or like savages eating a hamburger, right? So Air Force One is cool. I think it's like, for me,
Would you rather just fly on a C-17
Yeah,
for the space and the personal
I
space?
loved being the cattle man, like being
Yeah.
on the C-17s,
I can see that.
and it's like I get my space. I can get up, walk around,
Mm-hmm.
I sleep, I do whatever it is that I want. Nobody knows we're traveling. I don't have to dress a certain way, like
right.
being on Air
right.
Force One.
You can't do anything wrong on a
Right.
C-17.
I mean, I can, and I did, but it would be much easier to do it on Air Force One. And like, I wasn't on the shift. The shift travel on Air Force One all the time, like religiously, right?
Okay.
Unless they're jumping or doing something like weird. So they're there all the time. So for cat guys to get on Air Force One, it's a little more rare and difficult to do. So until you go to the president's detail, after, I'll be honest with you, like after one or two flights, I'm like, all right, cool, done. Because I would
Check
do the
that
same,
block.
Because I would get up and walk around as much as like they would let me to go look at the whole thing.
Yeah.
After a while, and I mean, I did some other projects too where I got to go to the hangar and walk through Air Force One by the nature of what I was doing, like my special project.
Right.
So I got to know it really well. And after a while, I was like, all right, cool. Like, I don't care. Just
Yeah.
give me my sleeping bag. Let me take off 38 hours to Singapore, and we're just gonna sleep on the floor.
We must have this new crew flying, or maybe they just didn't get the memo. And they don't always know on these C-17s who's on their plane. And we were going overseas again on a combat rotation. And as soon as we got up to altitude, some guys like to hop on top of ISUs and sleep up there because there's just more room. And the crew chief, the load master, got upset like, "Hey!" Gets on the intercom like, "You can't be up there. Get down right now." And the guy's like, "What are you gonna turn it around? Come get me off of here. I'll be right here." And he had no idea what to do because he realized for the first time who he thinks he's in charge of this plane, and technically he is, but realistically he wields no power. And what are you gonna do? You gonna bring the Delta Force back to America and cancel our combat rotation? No, that is now not a law that you're sending out. That's a suggestion, and it can be turned down, and there's really nothing you can do about it. And to watch him realize that was kind of priceless. And as a new guy watching that, I was like, it's weird to say this, but you're just in this mindset. And as a new guy, you're like, oh wow, I guess some rules are just suggestions. Because in the military, everything is told you is you follow everything. And you're like, well, if it doesn't make sense, maybe you don't have to do everything someone tells you.
I think for us, it's like very regimented.
Yeah.
And usually most of the passengers are cycled through. Well, Cat's there like all the time. Counter snipers, Cat, the hazmat guys, they're the hammer team. And so we have I call them the frequent flyer miles and the seats, right? So we just sit in the same spot every single time. And it's very regimented how they load it because they have to load all the limos and stuff. So you have to put that stuff on first. And some of those things are sensitive. You can't touch them or scratch them or do anything, right? Because there's all this, obviously like the appearance of what they look like. And you'd load it afterwards, and they were very careful where they pull all the luggage and everything. And just like you guys, everything is weighed. So it's very regimented, and the service people were always very careful to not piss anybody off. So a little different experiences.
Yeah, and don't worry, if I was in the Secret Service, I wouldn't do the same thing. It's one of those things like we're in the service, and so we can be a little bit, make it up. If we were on a Secret Service bird, we'd do whatever the Secret Service told us to do. Because
that's how it was. And the worst was the box lunches. That was like
I forgot about they weren't the worst. They weren't the worst.
Grade D meat. It said it on like you're eating grade D meat.
I forgot about the box lunches.
We were forced to buy them too. Like I don't know what it is now, but like it was like you're buying the box lunch. We're giving the Air Force money, so we just
no way.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got for super chats?
Justin 11 Bravo back in. Tier 1 question. Ever encounter any drinking girls in Colombia working for Obama?
So
I feel like there's an inside question of that.
Yeah, he's talking about Cartagena. It's 2012. And that's like the incident that made the news. And,
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh,
I was at the White House when that story broke, and Obama hadn't yet gone to Colombia. So
yeah. What was
that was a one of those days talking about the misconduct. That's like, oh man, we screwed that up. So
yeah, and the other thing it's true for the Secret Service. It's true for the military. It's true for the SEALs. You can go down the list. It's true for law enforcement. A few bad apples does not mean that is the organization. Yet that's unfortunately what happens.
That's
today.
like, if anything anybody gets out of the conversations that we have, it's to know that the majority of the service is filled with such good people that try so hard to do their job. And every time that there's an incident where they all get lumped into the same category,
yeah.
And I'm specifically talking about this misconduct kind of stuff right now. And it's like, not everybody is going to have alcohol related incidents. Not everybody's going to go to Cartagena and do what happened there. And I say now everybody, the majority, if not all, it's not going to happen. And there's a few people that make bad decisions. And then it just kills the morale for everybody else. You're like, oh,
because now there's going to be a knee-jerk reaction
Yep.
that as you guys, I mean, the organization knows if it's a cultural problem or if it's a one-off, but there's going to be a knee-jerk reaction as if this is a cultural problem, and everyone's going to pay the price for a few bad mistakes, and that's the worst. That's just as bad as anything else that's going to come out from it.
I mean, there are cultural issues, just like there are cultural issues anywhere, but things like that is you can use and out of that incident, actually, a lot of good happened.
Really?
The silver lining for that 2012 Cartagena trip was an entire culture shift, since we're talking about culture.
Yep.
Not about like drinking girls, like you said, or anything, but it's one of the first steps towards the enhancement of like all these capabilities that we talked about, professionalism, the level of like how these kids, instead of, we talked about it on Cat, instead of drinking and like hanging out, like they'll go back to their rooms and try to get sleep and figure out which peptides they're going to take so they can get their workout so they can prep for the next day. And it's unfortunately, sometimes there's these events that happen just like in our personal lives as individuals, but we can use them for good.
Yeah.
Right. Like we can use them to make things better, or we can ignore them and they happen again.
Right. Yeah. I mean, guess what? To my knowledge, I haven't heard of anything like that happening again.
There's some dumb stuff that's happened, but not that level.
Yeah.
So,
all right. What else we got?
All right. Right wing nut one.
Yeah. Right wing.
Have you ever dropped your weapon while breakdancing at a club and had a negligent discharge? Or is that the FBI?
that was the Bureau.
That was the Bureau. I do remember. There's a video of that, right?
Yeah, there's a video.
Okay. Yeah. That is unfortunate.
Was that,
Yeah, you can't
was
do
that did the weapon discharge? I don't.
No, it
I don't
did it
think discharge.
did.
Okay,
It
maybe,
did.
or maybe the video I saw was just a different of it falling out. I definitely remember a video of it falling out of his waistband.
I thought it fell out and just picked it up.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
I don't remember. Either way, it's not good.
We thought
It's
it was
not
us
good.
at first. 'Cause,
Everyone's holding their breath.
well,
and like, does anyone know him?
we had a string of dumb stuff, and it was around that time, and we were like, "Oh God, please no!" Right?
Gosh. Oh, there's. When you talk about screen names, I was hoping he was going to be in here. Here's one of my favorite screen names. Chicken Wire Canoe.
Fantastic. It's a fantastic name.
All right, what do we got, Sonny?
Chicken wire canoe. Thursday nights are for the Patriots. Dropping in early to help with the fridge fund.
Thank you, sir.
Have to catch the rest of the live in the morning. Headed to brag for a good friend's promotion to Command Sergeant Major early in the morning.
Heck yeah.
Congrats.
Absolutely. That's a big deal.
Very big
That's
deal.
awesome.
Very big deal.
Brenda's taint. Okay. I get it. It's been dropping off. They love to not get my name right. Just something close enough. And that's all. I could have just ignored that, and we could have just gone on with the show without having to. But I want to keep John in the dark that they like to get my name wrong, and they love to bring up the fact that yes, one time I pulled my taint muscle, but
Okay.
it happens. It may not have happened to you, but I'm telling you, it happened.
There are people in the chats that want to know if he has.
Oh, great.
I've never had the privilege.
Life isn't over yet. Yes,
I never had the privilege of that.
Yeah, it only happened to me last year. So hold on. Life isn't over. It didn't happen when I was at my most physical. And it'll happen to you randomly.
Was it a privilege, Brent?
It didn't feel like a privilege the next 2 weeks.
All right. Brenda's taint. What do SIF guys do when attached to Secret Service besides PSD? And what are the limitations compared to Secret Service agents or vice versa?
That's a good question because I kind of forgot about some SIF guys also have interaction with the Secret Service. Is there anything you can say about that? I mean, what? I'm sure it's just over. Usually, when in a combat zone, you guys, I believe, align more with other units, but when you're overseas, do you always work with SIF teams overseas or just in certain countries?
A lot.
A lot.
It's always different.
Are they supplementing you guys, or are you just there because they've been there? You want like on the ground information? How do they plug and play or enhance you guys?
I used to write the requests that would go to Department of War.
Mm-hmm.
So I would, every time we had a trip that we thought that we needed Department of War support, which is SIF, any other, naval special warfare, whatever it is that I'm requesting. So you make the request and you give it to, it passes, it goes to, the Secretary of War, and he's going to sign it, or his office signs it. And from that, they'll find a team that meets what we're asking for.
Okay.
So if I want a waterborne extract, it's probably going to be naval special warfare.
Okay.
If I need, some kind of aerial asset, maybe we get like the 160th or something, right? And sometimes it's who's available, right? So then they will report. I say they will report. They are assigned, and every single like Advon Advance that I've done, they're great because it's like, what can we do for you? What do you need? And like the authority and responsibility falls on the Secret Service.
Okay.
For whatever it is that they do. Most of the supervisors will just be like, like I was a team leader. We were in Singapore when Trump met with Kim Jong-un, North Korea, right?
Okay.
And I had so many assets, and like I remember the supervisor came to me, is like, "Hey, how do we launch this and that and this and that?" And I was like, "I got it. Don't worry about it." Right? He's like, "Well, it's your responsibility.
Right.
If something happens, you're going to get in trouble." And I was like, "I got it. Don't worry about it." Right? Like I got the best guys in the world with me. Like I'll be fine. Right?
Yeah.
And
So you had Army guys with you.
I had like everybody. Right? But
Yeah, I'd imagine that's an all hands one.
that's
right there.
It was like just as an example. So they'll be like attached to us almost, even though we default to and we defer to their recommendations for everything. So we'll absorb the responsibility. Like any ROE issues, we'll absorb that. That's kind of how we work together. I became good at crafting those memos to get what I wanted.
Okay.
So if I wanted specifically a specific unit, I might get like a different troop,
Right.
but specific unit, I knew what to write in the letter that narrowed it down.
Yeah.
And I remember like the Secretary of War people, like the people are like, "Look at this bastard," right? He knows exactly like what to ask for.
That's a great point. I think, especially when you get to leadership roles, people underestimate, and even some guys who inside the unit, much less people outside the unit, underestimate what an absolute talent being a good writer is. You have to be a good writer.
It's a weapon.
It is. People who are good writers can dang near move mountains and get what they want when they know how to say it. They write it correctly. They have the social awareness. I know it sounds stupid, it's getting worse, but it's just true. Our education system are failing people, and people still care about commas, and they still care about punctuation, and they still care about the structuring of a sentence. And they could be a decent writer, but just not understand how to structure a sentence. And those shallow people above, that will be a big deal to them. Don't give them any reason to say no. And writing, of all things, is dang near a superpower to get what you want.
I'd always ask, be like, who do you want? Because we train with some of these people. So I specifically want units that we've trained with recently.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, who do we train with last month? It's like, this team over in
Right.
whatever group it is.
There's a great justification right there.
And I'll just, I can't name them. I can't say I want first group for this, right?
But you essentially named them without naming them.
But that's what I did
through the justification process.
I knew exactly what to write, where it narrowed down. Like they could only pick one,
Right.
it's like it's either this troop or this troop, which is
Yeah.
like can't guarantee you the troop, but
Yeah.
you're gonna get one of those two.
I love it. All right, what else we got? Good question.
All right. Glaucoma 420.
It's another good one. It's another good one.
I knew this was coming. What degree threshold of roof slope is dangerous for PPD?
I think we all know the answer to that one. So
Why that person even came out and said that did no one any justice. That was just a silly thing for them to say.
I think
It just was.
Yeah, I know. I agree with that. This is what I'll say with that. If you look at those hearings, right after Butler, the FBI was there. So I'll compare us to the FBI in those hearings, and I think it was the FBI deputy director. I'm not sure if it was the director or the deputy director. I think it was a deputy, but anyway, they were so prepared, the FBI, to answer questions, and they did a good job of having them ready to speak in those hearings. And I don't know how much prep our director got in that to be able to answer those. So by default, you just try to say something that may or may not sound right. Maybe it sounds right in their head, but without prepping. And right now, like I think they do a way better job because there's programs for it. Just like in the FBI. The FBI have programs to prep their people to speak. And I don't know how robust or even if it existed at that level in the service that they had that. So I think that's attributable to like her saying that like the last minute. I'm not trying to give her an excuse for it, but I'm pretty sure that there was little to no prep as opposed to the FBI guy that was so well spoken.
This is the only thing I'll say about that. And this isn't towards. I just had to look it up, make sure it was the Secret Service director.
Oh yeah,
Kimberly Cheadle
Cheadle.
that said that, and it's this. So I don't know if this is her personality. So this isn't directed at her. This is a general statement. If I knew better, I would direct her at her. She deserved it. Since I don't know her, I'm not just making sure I'm not directing this at her. But people are in leadership positions that hold really high standards to people beneath them. I don't have a problem with that. But if you're the type of person that if I asked you a question and you can't answer it, or you say something wrong, and I'm going to come down really hard on you. And if you really think about it, most like very high leadership positions, they don't have very many opportunities to perform, if you will. They're just managing.
Yeah,
they don't have a lot of opportunities to show themselves. And then when they do and they screw up, there's no similar accountability to it.
There was then.
There was then. Every now and again, you do get accountability, but it's in the I'll put it more to the military side. On the military side, it's rare. I screw up an operation. There's some boss coming down on me hard. The few times someone with some rank on them has an opportunity, well, just things. If it didn't work out, things just happen, and that's war. And that's life. You can get frustrated all you want, but again, can't act like that, like it doesn't happen. All right, what else we got?
All right. Justin 11 Bravo back in. My wifey wants to know who your favorite detail was: Bush, Obama, Trump, or Biden.
All right, and way to pass off the buck on your wife. Just to I have a hard question for you that my wife wants me to ask.
Just to clarify, it was her.
Right, yeah. So
That sounds way too
who's your
familiar.
favorite detail? Bush, Obama, Trump, or Biden?
Bush traveled the least.
So by default, I get that.
I had a lot of training, a lot of right,
Yeah.
and then it was off to the races afterwards.
Okay. All right. Great answer. All right. What else we got?
All right. Bacon Forged. John, if the tape doesn't fit, should we acquit? Hashtag tape measure gate. Hashtag never forget.
So I'm 6 foot tall. Obviously, you've seen me. I've stood up next to you. I'm clearly a 6 foot tall person. Nice.
I like that.
Nice,
You
Sonny.
have-
Nice, Sonny.
You have sound effects. You haven't been using them until now.
I just seen it over here.
And I had a guest one time that measured me in front of everyone, and I don't believe I believe they had an ulterior motive and had me at 5'11" and a half.
Well, I'm 5'11",
3/4.
and you're a little taller than me, so
You're a good man, John. You're a good man. Thank you.
Listen, guys. After
it's Bacon Forge, man. It's got a great name, so I gotta like, you know.
listen, after this in the garage, I'll get a measurement.
All right, but measure twice. Measure twice.
I'll measure 3 times.
Right?
How about
Okay.
that?
All right. Thank you, Bacon Forge.
Well, it's like using a power saw. Like, you know, measure twice to cut once, right? So
And half my cuts are still wrong somehow.
All right. Just another Bravo back in to follow up on Bacon's question. As a man of integrity, John, would you measure Brent's height?
oh, we established that. We got
All right.
Sonny. Sonny's gonna take
Okay.
care of it.
All right. Yeah, we got this. We got this.
All right. Right wing nut 1 back in again. After attempt on Trump's life, did short stocky gal agent ever get her weapon reholstered? Looked like she was having a hell with that thing.
It's adrenaline's tough to deal with. That's your fine motor movements can leave you at times. It was unfortunate for her.
Yeah, especially in real life situations.
Yeah. What was? Gosh, I covered this and now I forget. What was she? Was she part of the presidential detail, or was she an augmentee? Was there something to that? Do you remember?
No, I think she was from the local field office.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Okay.
But she from that was born, and I, as an instructor, I used to teach this all the time, but now it's made its way into the general curriculum that in a Glock, you have a Glock, when you put it away, I don't believe that it was emphasized for them to look at the holster when they holster it. It was like my head's up and I'm doing this. And we used to teach that on CAT. Like, just look at your holster and put it away the first time. There's a reason that you're holstering, especially a Glock. We used to have SIGs that had a hammer, right? So it was, then you can put your hand on the hammer and so it was I'm not saying I still looked at the holster. So I don't believe, and I have to defend her in just from the little bit that I don't believe that anybody ever told her to look at the holster, right?
Yeah, we come from that same school of thought. Obviously, we've talked about them before. We have a great shooting program instructor. That's nothing but common sense. And I've seen other instructors and tactical classes give this. To me, it's just bad tactics to always keep your head up, always ensure that there's not another threat, and keep looking, and then you should be able to put your gun in your holster without holstering it. Nothing could be further from the truth. If you're putting your gun away,
there's a reason for it.
It's because the threat is over. And if you think there's a reason to continue looking for a threat,
don't put it away.
Don't put it away. It is that easy.
And even before, like when I first started, it was your attention downrange, and it was linked to safety more than anything. Yeah. And I believe that's like a holdover, because she wasn't a brand new agent, so it's like holdover training, and then add the stress, and then add like all this other stuff.
Right.
And then
and add that a Glock has no external safety.
It's got no hammer.
It has no hammer. You better make sure, and if something can go wrong, it will go wrong.
With the Glock, you got to look at your holster when you put it away.
Make sure there's nothing that could have got. Anything could be. I mean, it's crazy, but crazier things have happened. The extra part of your belt could have come undone, and it's hanging out, and that gets stuck in your trigger guard.
If I carry appendix, you better believe I look when I put that thing away.
Yeah.
Right. and I've done classes where my draw is so fast. So like I'll be done firing before like some people start firing, and I have to stop. Like, and everything's slow back to the holster. And like we're talking about tactics now, right? Like obviously, but it's the point I'm trying to make is I put it away, and it's like I'm looking to make sure there's nothing. I don't get my shirt in because I dress like this.
Right.
If I carry it on my hip, I still gonna go look at it when I put it away.
Yeah.
But even more so because I got like the families down there too, right? So,
That's right. No, I'm glad he asked that question because we did get to turn it into something that should be addressed, and I think is
It
taught
has
wrongly
been,
sometimes.
and from that, and like I have to say that on her behalf because she just gets like beaten up all over the internet.
Oh, Six's mom.
All right, Six's mom.
Good to see you in here.
That is the
Aloha.
chat mom.
Yes, it is.
Patreon mom.
That's the Patreon mom.
That
Yep.
is- that is true.
Her and Liz share the title.
That is true. Since no holy fook tonight, ask all the questions, Brent. Bigfoot,
Okay, correct.
aliens, Sigurd Glock, bear versus tiger.
Oh, all right.
Outro tonight.
Sonny's pick.
Yours truly.
All right. Here we go.
Aloha from Kauai.
These are the standard questions for guests that correct Holy Fook usually gets to. Bigfoot or aliens, do you believe?
Aliens have to exist somewhere.
Okay.
I haven't seen any. Right? Everybody's like,
Right.
"Oh, have you been to Area 51?" No. Right? And Bigfoot, I don't know about Bigfoot, man. Like I'm kind of Harry and the Henderson's an awesome movie, but
Right.
I
Okay.
don't know. But aliens got to exist somewhere, man.
All right. Sig or Glock? This is way more important than the last one.
I'm a Glock guy, so only because it's the majority of what I use. And
You just won over the audience with that one. Good job. Bear versus tiger. It's a classic matchup of speed versus strength.
yeah,
Bear versus tiger.
do we have salmon? Is a salmon involved? Right? Like you should throw that in the middle. I want to say bear because those things are awesome.
Okay.
Are we talking about like a brown grizzly bear, or are we talking about a black bear, or polar bear? Even better.
Kodiak grizzly. We're going grizzly.
I'm gonna take the grizzly.
You're going grizzly.
Yeah, it's just the sheer weight of it.
Okay. That one's debated. It's not as absolutely set in stone as the Sig and Glock argument is.
I also like it better, like the bear, right? Like it just looks cooler. I don't know why.
I'm afraid I know where you're going, but go ahead.
What about a polar bear?
Yeah, the polar bear.
Does that swing it?
I'd like take the polar bear easily. Those things are like,
You take it easily.
oh yeah, those things will. If there's food somewhere, they'll try to kill it.
Okay. All right. Solid question. Thank you, Six's mom, for ensuring he's asked the real questions on the Tier 1
these are
podcast,
legit.
the tough ones.
I carried both Sigs and Glocks, so like I'm a Glock guy, just to make it.
I've said it before that there's Sig rifles. I like Sig, and I'm not anti Sig. Wink, just in case you want to be a sponsor. But I'm just pro. When it comes to pistols, I'm pro Glock.
Well, the Glocks are like Legos. You can make them whatever you want.
They're like Legos. That's a good way. It's a good way to describe them. All right, what else we got?
All right. Also, tonight's my pick is won by Metallica.
All right, you already know it. You are okay. Perfect.
Great song. Sonny's like my new best friend. With that.
All right.
All right. Glaucoma 420 back in. Thoughts on women in Secret Service detail. Just like we notice women in law enforcement in chaos, they lose control and make dangerous mistakes.
Glaucoma. Thank you. John, what say you?
Yeah. So, well, we talked about it. I don't know if we talked about it before, or there's women.
I know. On these days, they start to run together a little
Right,
bit.
so-
We talked about the recording, correctly? Okay. So we talked about in the recording. We can talk about it here, too.
Yeah, and I get hit in the head a lot, so I forget. Yeah. So there are great women in the Secret Service that do a great job, and we're talking about so many different aspects of it. There's women that are so physically capable because they're like CrossFit athletes. They're fit, and you're looking at a few women that that they'll make mistakes or be caught on camera, and that it gets extrapolated into all of them, and that's not the case. Okay, and the great women that do a good job, they know what their like physical limitations are. They're not going to out PT. We talked about the 240-pound linebacker, right? It's they're just like physics. It's like the grizzly bear and the tiger. I think the grizzly bear just weighs more. It's just going to smash the tiger down, right? And the best women are the ones that know what their limitations are. They're not putting themselves in a compromised position where they're gonna affect the entire team. So because the same thing can be said about men that do a bad job, and then you're like, oh, they're all like the same, right? So it's harder for a woman in law enforcement to be successful just by the nature of where we are, right? Like law enforcement is a male-dominated place. You got these guys that are just, compared to some of the ladies, are just behemoths, right?
Right.
You got a 250-pound guy. Did you see there was a guy that was sworn in? He was a 7-foot-something a deputy. I forgot what jurisdiction it was. The Glock in his hand looked like it was like this big, and he was sworn in, and he's standing there, and the judge is looking up at him. How do you combat that? It's like if you're a 5'3" woman, you just have to know your limitations. You have to know when to ask for help, and the 30 for 30 thing doesn't help, right? Like we talked about that too. Right. Yep. If you're looking to fill a quota, is being like 30% have to be women. Well, you're passing up on all these qualified people that may be women, maybe they're not.
Right.
So then you start going down this DEI path, and then you start corrupting the name of a woman in law enforcement, because there's plenty that are good, right? And that you just have to make sure that you set them up to succeed. I can't send a woman into a Muslim country to negotiate and think that everything's going to be great. Right.
We don't get to control the world.
So
you're an international organization.
And it's kind of like I get what you're trying to say. And if we all had our way, we'd have like 5 NFL 240-pound linebackers that are highly intelligent, highly capable. Because some of those guys are big,
right? But
they're kind of like, how many times like there's a big guy, but you're like, doesn't really know what he's doing right now. So
here's the fallacy, not in your argument. This is the fallacy and the argument to this, which I hear all the time, which is they go, well, I know some women that are stronger than some men, and so if you're going to say that not every female in the Secret Service can handle a 6-foot, 210-pound muscular guy, well, there's guys in the Secret Service that can't handle that guy. And the fallacy to that argument is, you're right. I don't want weak men either.
I don't want weak men.
Right. That's assuming that I'm okay with weak men. No, this isn't an anti. And if that were true, and I accepted them, that would just make me sexist. And it hasn't. And we went deeper in the recording, but it has nothing to do with being sexist. It has to do with performance.
And
That's
logic.
the only thing we care about is performance.
Logic. And it's like counter assault. If you can meet the standards, you're in.
Right.
It doesn't matter what gender, race, whatever it is. If you can meet the standard, you're good. And it's the ultimate measure. And then I know if you walk across the hall or you walk down the halls of the Special Operations Division, you met the same standards I did.
Right.
It's like I have to respect that.
Correct.
So
and now if we have substandard females or males in there, now we have a problem with the standards themselves.
That's right. Then you attack the standards.
Right.
And so I'm trying to think of how to answer the talking about standards specifically. So standards are kind of, one of our mutual friends told me one time, you keep raising the standard, there'll be nobody left. Sometimes we just have to enforce the standard that exists, and we forget to do that. It's like the laws that we have. A new administration comes in, whether it's this one or a previous one, and we pass new laws, but we're not enforcing the old ones.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that especially happens in Second Amendment stuff. Like we're not enforcing the old Second Amendment laws. We're just creating new ones. Right.
Right. Absolutely. All right. What else we got?
All right. Really quick. I missed this.
Okay.
Squeal Team 6 sent.
That's a good one.
Goat trophy for $1,000.
Okay.
I know that's paid.
All right.
I know
All
that's paid
right.
for that. So
Okay. Thank you, Squeal Team 6.
all right, Justin, another one. Bravo. Perfect answer to the 2012 Columbia trip. No doubt you're the one of the good guys.
Thank you, guys.
I appreciate that.
All
Hope
right.
that never happens again.
Yeah.
Dawazi019. How was it at the White House after the UBL raid?
Uh,
Were you in there at the time?
I was like not. I don't know if I was in the physical White House when
Right.
it happened, but like in all the days afterwards.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody like really talked about it except with us.
Really?
Right. I was like texting all my friends to try
Yeah.
to get information,
Yeah.
which I was like terrible texter at the time because I'm like way behind in technology.
Yeah.
That technology, right? So, but it occurred. It was like one of those things that was like quiet. Nobody knew it was happening, and then it happened. And the administration was happy that it occurred because it was under Obama, of
course.
Right? So,
Yeah.
And after a while, it's like it's like every single major thing like that. You really don't hear about it like a week or two afterwards
Yeah.
because they're moving on.
Right. Yeah. The news
So
cycle goes so
it wasn't
fast.
like there was like pictures or stuff everywhere saying like, oh, we got him, right?
Yeah.
It was just that's like how it always is there. It's something happens. There might be. The cool part is like if you ever get a West Wing tour, they have pictures that the White House photographer puts up from all the trips. Right. So it'll be the president, walking. They're really awesome. Like the White House photographers are very talented. They're always talented. In all the administrations I've seen, they have these pictures. They're like, how'd you get this? Like, are you laying on the floor? Like, how are you? Right? And those are really like what's on the walls.
Okay.
Nothing newsworthy ever makes it anywhere that you see like any kind of propaganda, right? Like that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So, and to talk about it might be just, like a week or two, and then that's it because there's something else that's going on. So,
All right.
and then the media just carries it.
That they will, for good or bad.
All right. Frank Tibbet-E1Z said something, but his message.
But then changed his mind.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
He still dominated.
yes. Thank you. Thank you so much, Frank.
All right. Next, Dusty General Tigers.
Here we go.
If Sonny measures Brent height, he's 6 foot, then wins the next Patreon giveaway. I'm going to call a formal investigation. Measuregate 2026.
Oh, they're on to me. I'm gonna have to think of something. We might have to delay you winning a Patreon giveaway for a few more. You'll just have to trust me.
You got to get 2 different measuring tapes just to make sure one's not compromised.
Listen, guys, I'm gonna get Angelica here, my wife, to measure, so that way she's not on the Patreon.
How dare you?
I don't need
How dare you question Sonny's
integrity
that way?
I don't need any 15-6s against me.
Last question for you, and we'll start wrapping this thing up. Your job at the Secret Service. Tell me one thing you miss about it and that you loved, and tell me one thing you don't miss about it. And it was just something about the job that wasn't your favorite that you just had to deal with.
The people make that place awesome, right? There's the people that you have personality conflicts with, but for the most part, I miss the guys. I miss my guys specifically, right? And I think we talked about it too. The bonds that I made, like I talk to these guys almost daily, a whole bunch of them, and they still call me boss. They still call me, team leader 1-0, right? Like all these different, and at the end, it's like, he's like, all right, be safe, love you, right? And it always goes. So I miss those. I miss working with them. I miss having 2 hands on my rifle in the motorcade with the guys, and we know we're going to take care of business. Like that feeling, it's like nothing's like it. What I miss, I don't miss the the drama that surrounds it, right? Like, and there are like personality differences with some people, and my wife always said, my daughter had a sleepover one time, so there's a bunch of 12-year-olds at the house, and it was like 5 12-year-olds were in the house, like 5 12-year-old girls, and I'm like, how the hell am I going to manage this, right? Because I'm retired now, and my wife's like going off to work, and like, I got to get up, I got to make pancakes for everybody. I'm like dealing with all their parents, like pickups, drops-offs, and my wife's like, what are you talking about? You're on the counter assault team. You've been dealing with 12-year-old catty girls for years, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? You're right. I got it. It's good. It's easy. And it's the cattiness sometimes, and like the drama internally. Yeah. Because the dumb things that we do for like careerism or like stuff like that like I don't miss that at all. Yeah. Like they can have all that, you know.
Same. That answer is the same in a lot of different tactical professions. Yeah. So not exactly groundbreaking per se.
Sorry,
but
it's not sexier,
but again, you know, I don't mean that like as a bad thing. At the same time, it's also good to hear that it's the same over. It's the same over there too, for the positive and the negative, which means hey, everyone's dealing with the same problems, so it doesn't make it that unique. But it's just there's something about A+ personalities in a tactical environment that is both being around those guys is the best, and there's certain parts of being around those guys that could be the worst.
Yeah, it's like your brothers.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, like you're so
love it. All right. Well, this is the part Sonny has picked it.
Oh, we have another one.
Oh, all right. I'll get to it real quick. Bart, I have an official come and take it flag for you from my hometown, Gonzales, Texas. Oh, Gus. Thank you, sir. You probably already have the address. If not, I'll text you after the show, but thank you. Come and take it. I love it. Excuse me. This is the part where we just hang out in the comment section for a little bit while we listen to the music that you guys / Sonny requested.
We already started.
Yeah. It'll get a little loud, but you can just have to focus. Real hitters don't like drama. That's true. You don't like it doesn't mean that you're immune to it at the same time. Dwazi, magnet is still connected to the speaker. Also, was there knowledge on what happened to JFK?
Got shot.
He got it. That is true. Sometimes it's just the simplest answer. Oh, here you go, John from Seth Q. How much can John squat?
I don't know. It's a lot. He's talking about my big tree trunk.
Yeah. What, do you remember your PR on a back squat?
Not now.
Yeah, you're all-time PR.
That was a lot. It was like I'm doing plates now.
Yeah. You keep adding that up. I'll stay in the comments section if you ever get me a number.
I would do multiple reps of like 4 plates and maybe 25s. And
ain't bad. That'll get you some tree trunks for life, apparently. Gus, formerly Lone Star. I'm surprised Sonny didn't request the song Wichita Lineman. Mark's House Retired says, John, what's your EDC firearm? You got an EDC?
Yeah, I like a Glock 19 because it does everything I want it to.
I know.
As the base.
Yep.
But then I have a whole bunch of other Glocks that I'll use for different. I can pretty much carry whatever I want as long as it's a pistol.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, my favorite is a 19 with a 17 mag in it. That's just my favorite. Depends on the shirt. Sometimes the shirt's a little too tight. I'll put a 19 mag in it because that mag sticking out will be a little too intrusive. What was it? I saw one that I wanted to read, and it already went. Oh, there you go. You got me. There it is. by Chucky D19. Brent is 5'10". When it's cold, you have to account for shrinkage. I'll read them all, guys. I don't care. Yeah, what was it? Aaron Lee, did you see Rob did a new interview? Rob does a new interview every week. The guy's never met a podcast that he doesn't like except this one. He won't come on this one.
No, he loves this one.
Yeah, he loves this one. Yeah, although he knows every time we say something or did an episode about him. So he follows us. He follows us intently.
Exactly.
And let me tell you, it's like clockwork. He's going to have another meltdown. Watch his Twitter account now that the Alex West episode is out on Sean Ryan, and I've already seen the clips from it that won't bode well for him. Let's see. Glaucoma 420, having a beer with Big Mike could be interesting. We almost made it. John. Let's see here. Gus back in. Shout out to Buddy Magnet. No, you don't get to shout out to him when he doesn't show up for the episode. I only read that because I like you, Gus. But no,
Yeah,
we don't.
He's FTR.
He's
FTR, along with Drew.
Yeah, along with Drew. You're only as good as your last performance, and both of them are no-shows. Oh, man, let's see here. Michael, sailors losing their minds or just CNN nonsense? I feel like our boys are happy to get some. Does that make sense to you, John?
I'm trying to figure it
Does
out.
that have to do maybe with the Strait of Hormuz or something with Iran right now? I have to see. The TRT is getting to Brent's head, showing off the guns. No, I just got Phil just sent this tank top, and so I wore it. I literally unpackaged it today, so it came in, so I wore it. Let's see. Justin O'Donovan, Bravo. Jumped on me. There you go. Allegedly, Brent was invited to the birthday party in Daytona. Okay. That is, you can invite me all you want, but I have work to do on Thursday nights. And maybe if we move it to Wednesday nights, I'll be able to do other things.
You're
and
not
that
FTR.
that was discussed last week. I think we will be moving the lives to Wednesday nights, especially with football on the horizon. Probably be a
Thursday
good
night
thing.
football.
Yes. Let's see. Seth back in. How much can Brent bench press? I was never big on the bench press. I'm not saying I couldn't put up some weight. I think 350 was my max that I ever did. We had guys in the unit that did way more than that, but I couldn't do that now. Gosh, I'd say with my shoulder, I'll give you a good guess. I could probably do 250, 275. Now, I basically try not to go over 75-pound dumbbells, and 20 reps is my goal. So I don't go too light, but I don't go too heavy, and I try to add more reps. Where can you get some Anavar? I just saw that. I take Anavar. Right now, I think it's a great testosterone additive, and you can get it from Human Performance TRT. I just got it in a bottle today to replenish. So there you go. Go to hp-trt.com. Does Brent have giant skulls tattooed on him? No, the giant thing you may be seeing is... Those are Spartan helmets. One to my side, one to my back, one to my front. That was from a Spartan-like element I used to work with, and the symbology for me, I know it's kind of odd, but then again, why would you have something tattooed on you for life if it doesn't have a reason for it? But it shows the three troops that I work with. One's always looking out for me, has my back, one's looking to my front, and one has my flank for protection. And that's what that means. Gus, I'd rather watch Tier 1 live than the woke NFL games. Just like everyone else, there's still good ones. There's bad ones, but I wish I was a little bit better at voting with. You can vote with your wallet. You can vote with what you watch. I think football is. I hate to say it. You would like to think nothing's too big to fail, right? But you go back to them kneeling at the national anthem, and football is just so ingrained in the American culture. I do believe it's too big to fail. The NFL football never paid a price for the wokeism that it did, and it's a little unfortunate. But guess what? I'm not two-faced. I'm just as much to blame. I still watch the NFL as well. I'm not as much in the NFL as I am to college football. Oh, I love college football. I watch the NFL just because it is football. John, you got a favorite football team? Care about football much? You got a sport?
Yeah,
Let's keep reeled back. What do you got?
Now I do. I do a lot of jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of stopped watching all sports at one point,
Yeah.
but I grew up a Jets fan.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so like I've been.
So that makes a lot of sense, actually.
So like the depressing part of that is like just what it is. But so now it's just like a lot of like MMA. I watch.
Yeah.
I'll watch that, and
Yeah.
I just do jiu-jitsu like 5-6 times a week. So
I'd imagine the answer has to be yes. What do you? You're probably out. I'm almost certain you were. What do you think a pain in the butt was it for the Secret Service and the UFC fight at the White House?
pain in the butt meaning which part? Like organize it?
The whole event and debacle of
Yeah,
putting on a massive event right there at the White House lawn.
There's a lot that went into that.
Yeah, I bet.
But from what I understand, it was really well coordinated with all the law enforcement intelligence agencies, and they were able to, take the whole that terror plot thing aside,
Yep.
which was caught and dealt with and
Yep.
everything. The
There
coordination.
was another. We
of
even
it-
bring that one up. There was another one that the boys did their job. It that barely even got any news coverage.
Yeah. Did you watch the deputy or the police officer's body cam when they went to talk to the kid at the house?
Mm-mm.
And like you said, like that kid was definitely like one of the patsies. He wasn't like the main guy.
Yeah.
And this is like what I spend my time. You watch football, I'm watching body cams of people doing,
Yeah.
like arresting people and stuff. And you can tell that the kid's mom was even like, you need to take his phone away. Don't believe he says he's a liar. Like she wanted help for her son
Yeah.
because he was going down this path of
Yep.
getting a job, doing all this. And then suddenly, just like all the other ones that we talked about, it changed and almost like he gave up in life and he was going to do something like probably suicide by cop kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. So they did a great job of finding it, stopping it way before it became a thing, arresting a bunch of people, and nobody talks about it. It went to the land of crap. No one talks about it anymore.
Sure did.
Right.
Sure did.
So the coordination for that event to make that thing happen, you had like Travis Pastrana doing all like the Nitro Circus jumps before and everything, and it was just good to hear all the police departments and all the agencies working together to do that.
No. All right. I want to go around the horn as we always do. Angie, including you. You get you were here. you get a last word from the couch.
Last word.
What do you want to say?
Let's say
What do you want to plug? What do you want to tell people? Doesn't
give
matter to
people
me.
grace. Give people grace because even like in this episode, we were talking about how like you never really know what's going on behind the scenes. It's the same in day to day. Like you never know what someone's facing. Give them grace.
I'll take that. That is good advice. Sonny, what do you got?
Honestly,
You want to tell Drew how easy his job is and that you feel like he makes it out to be more than it really is?
I'll help you out, Drew. I had to study up for this job, Drew.
That's right.
It's hard.
I can make fun of my brother. Don't anyone else say a thing about my brother.
I will say this, guys. I will say this. If y'all are not on the Patreon, y'all need to get on there. It's cool. It's fun. So get on there, and everybody have a great weekend. And stay tuned for the episode on Monday.
Heck yeah. And John, that will be you. We're going to drop your episode this Monday. You are the guest of honor. You get the last word, and don't forget about your book.
Yeah. If you guys want to check out my book on Amazon, I appreciate it. All right, Hallways and Stairwells. It's about how to be a better human. And just like always, this is like for everybody still in the Secret Service, since we talked about the Secret Service. Just understand those guys are under a tremendous workload. They constantly work. These kids are traveling around the planet. And just like Angie said, give them some grace, give them some prayers, and hopefully like they're all safe and they all come home and God bless them all.
All right. We will be back next Thursday. Wednesday, not next Thursday. We moved the Tyler Gray live to Wednesday. So he was supposed to be here, was it last week, I think? And maybe the week before. But he was rescheduled, and Tyler Gray, former Delta Force operator and actor on the show SEAL Teams, he will be in for the live this Wednesday. Guys, tune in 6 days for that one. Next week, Wednesday, will be for the Patriots. See you guys then.